Discussion about society is difficult unless we talk about civilization first. Human civilization is a trilogy consisting of society, culture, and traditions. Where culture includes software such as philosophy, language, customs, arts, and food, society, on the other hand, is a hardware consisting of a group of people who express themselves through their culture. Culture is also called the face of a society. Traditions, likewise, may be referred to as practices and tools through which a culture is transferred from one generation to the next. Well, that seems quite simple and logical. Now let's see how we look at society in our daily life. When we talk about Indian society, our horizon is a country. Hindu society, on the other hand, is based upon religion. Then what about a drama society in our college? A charitable society for a hospital? A cooperative society for housing? And a residential society for managing our neighborhood affairs? Apart from this, we also use phrases like civil society for a colloquial reference to civilians, and high society for the affluent and fashionable people. Is there any common thread which runs through all these various forms of society? Yes, of course. All these forms of society are bound together with one or all of the following threads. That is, commonality of culture, interest, and purpose. We may observe that members of all forms of society are not mutually exclusive and that there is a great deal of overlapping. But what is the origin of society? And what is social behavior? It seems that from the time we were hunter-gatherers, need for safety from threats of the wildlife may have encouraged us to live in groups. This tendency seems to have entered in our DNA to such an extent that our existence outside a society now looks impossible. Consequently, therefore, all of us, consciously or unconsciously, get subjected to either cooperation or competition, which are the two fundamental building blocks of all social behavior. Now let's consider these questions. Why some societies in this world do better than others in terms of wealth creation? Why some societies are happier than the others? And why there are more crimes in some societies whereas others are relatively peaceful? To get an answer to these questions, it is essential to understand what is our relationship as individuals with the society. It will not be wrong if we say that in the real world there are only individuals. Society, in that sense, is only a concept and a reflection of its people. There is an old saying by Aristotle, "He who is unable to live in a society must be either a beast or a god." But how can we promote flowering of talent in our society to have more of so-called gods? Rich Life believes that in all societies, majority always favors status quo. It is the proportion of beasts, that is antisocial or criminal elements on one side, and gods, that is selfless and capable leaders on the other side, that decides the fate of a society. So, the steps could be: 1. Let's work towards well-being and awareness at individual levels, for they are the constituents of our society. 2. Let's understand our true cultural fabric, take pride in that, and try to preserve the same at any cost from aliens' threats. 3. Let's start recognizing our gods, selfless and capable leaders amongst us, and value them, for they are the ones who will make our society better.